sporting world's premier website, JimFeist.net, presents America's longest-running pregame show, direct from Las Vegas, Proline, featuring Glenn McGrew, whose rampage through the 2006 football season continues this weekend with his Pro Football Game of the Year. And Scott Spreitzer, who is 8-2 lifetime with his College Game of the Year releases, and another one wins today. And Dave Koken, who has 7 straight winning weeks in college football, including South Florida last Saturday, and is making available a huge 5-game package for free. And world champion handicapper Jim Feist, who nailed his College Game of the Year last Saturday as Texas Tech walloped Baylor 55-21, and is giving away 3 huge games this weekend absolutely free. And now, here's your host, longtime national sports analyst and commentator, Al Bernstein.
Good Saturday morning, everybody, and welcome back to another week of Proline, the nation's longest-running handicapping show. I'm Al Bernstein, and we've got 4 big football games to talk about. But first, let's talk about the fact that there's a lot going on in the world of sports. It's going to continue, and the great opinions people get here are going to continue.
Absolutely. Well, we'll still be on right here on Saturday mornings for the next several weeks, but after that, now, personally, I was pushing for the best of Proline.
Residuals, you get residuals.
Oh, yeah, big stuff. But Jim says, no, we want new shows. So we're going to, just like last year, if you go to our website, you're going to be able to get basketball preview shows all season long, right into the tournament. And we had a lot of fun doing it last year and gave out some good information. Looking forward to doing it again.
You know, they're talking about doing a blooper show, but that'd be all Bobby. I just pick on him because he's not here.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, he talked about the radio show every week, and we've got great previews. In fact, tune in this week because we're going to be talking about the second half of the pro football season, some college basketball. You'll want to stick around and check it out on the website at jimfeist.net.
Getting back to the Proline and the web, I know that the first thing you do when you go to bed on Friday nights is set that alarm so you're going to be sure and not miss Proline on Saturday. The great thing about the web show, you can get it anytime you want. It's available. You go in when you're ready to watch it.
And definitely the web has come into play these days. There's so many shows you can watch on the web, including this one. I mean, there's so many. I mean, you can watch all the news shows, comedy shows, sports shows. It's all up there. It's amazing.
All right, you can get that on demand, too. That's the great part. Later on in the show, we'll hear from both Lake Tahoe's own Bob Donahue, referenced earlier by Scott, and 2-time world champion Jeff Allen. We'll be right back with our first game of the day, Nebraska taking on Texas A&M. Don't go anywhere.
Get a jump on the weekend every Friday evening at ProlineSportsTV.net. Catch the first edition of this show over your PC or tune in to watch a segment you may have missed. It's all there on ProlineSportsTV.net. Plus, while you're there, tune into the Proline Sports Radio Show, also available over your PC or live on Sirius Radio on Friday night and rebroadcast on Saturday morning. Get all the details plus 2 great shows each week at ProlineSportsTV.net.
Hi, folks. I'm Scott Spreitzer, and it's here. My 2006 College Football Game of the Year goes today. I'm 8-2, 80% winners lifetime with my annual College Football Game of the Year at Smash Mouth Sports. In fact, we've either named the exact score or come within a field goal of naming the exact final score on 3 occasions. Grab my 2006 Game of the Year and win, or the rest of the season is free. Call 1-900-438-8385, only $25, or go to jimfeist.net.
Follow up on last Saturday's big win on Texas Tech with a weekend of free winners completely free of charge. Call right now, toll-free, 1-888-260-8339, and start the day off with my Platinum Game of the Month. That's a $500 personal service release available right now, free on a recorded message. Then stay on the line for details on how to get today's college football blowout of the year and tomorrow's underdog shocker. 3 big games, 3 big winners, absolutely free. Make the call, 1-888-260-8339, or go to jimfeist.net.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, it's a good matchup in the Big 12 as the Cornhuskers take on the Aggies. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, we turn to Primetime's Glenn McGrew. Now, he closed out last Saturday with a big ACC call on Virginia Tech and then nailed his Vegas steam winner with the Broncos, and his dog of the week with the 49ers on Sunday. And Glenn, today you're releasing your Pro Game of the Year, a big one.
I am, and I got started with a Monday night side and total win with Seattle and the under. Folks, it's been it's really time right now for the second half of the Big Quinella, I call it. It was just 2 weeks ago that I nailed my college game of the year. An easy winner as BYU clobbered Air Force 33-14. Now comes my Pro Game of the Year, a side that incorporates all of the factors I look for in a release of this magnitude. A full 10 weeks into the season, and finally, the situation I've been patiently waiting for. Best of all, this side has all the advantages I want. Scheduling, momentum, and most importantly, two really key personnel matchups just begging to be taken advantage of. That's my Pro Game of the Year coming up, and as an added bonus, 2 Saturday Conference Game of the Month releases, all for just $20 right now. The number 1-900-622-7200, or just simply go to jimfeist.net.
All right, take advantage of that offer, that's for sure. Well, you know, Nebraska goes on the road this week to try and clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game, and they're going to take on a Texas A&M team smarting from a loss to Oklahoma. This is a big game in the Bill Callahan regime, and who better to turn to than our Nebraska expert, Scott Spreitzer.
Well, I tell you what, I first want to say thanks to Big 590 in Omaha and Travis and Pete having us in studio last week, and obviously get us great seats for the Nebraska-Missouri game. Was outstanding. But I don't know about you guys, but when I watch a game in person, I get more for handicapping than I do from watching on TV. I got to tell you guys, that was a superficial win last week by the Huskers, and I was rooting for them. The defense is not good. They've still got Frank Solich's seniors running around out there. There are no legitimate NFL players on that defense, maybe 1 or 2 that are going to be fringe players. The bottom line is they are going to give up a lot of points in this game. Now, offensively, they've outscored their opponents 96-10 in the first quarter this year. They've led every one of their games this year at the end of the first quarter, including USC and Texas. Great game planning on offense. They'll move the ball. There's going to be a lot of points in this one, and I'm taking it to go over the total.
The interesting thing, though, this is the second straight week that A&M's got a big home game. You know, the game day was there last week. It was an insane asylum. And we saw this with South Carolina. They had back-to-back big games at home where game day was there one week, and they were just, it's tough to gear up the second week for the crowd, and that's particularly important for Texas A&M with that 12th man. I don't know if they're going to be as high for this game, and if they fall behind early, it could take the crowd out of the game. But I agree that the play here is the over.
I absolutely agree with both of you. The play is the over. What I don't understand on the game, honestly, is the game. I saw the first number on this game was 3, the home side, Texas A&M, and now it's Nebraska 1. I don't quite understand that move. I don't really see Nebraska as that being that strong of a play. When you match these two teams up, it looks like the home side is the right side. I'm going to go over, though.
Can I just say one more thing? When I watch the wrap-ups around the country on SportsCenter and things like that Saturday night, they're talking about what a great win. I'm telling you guys, they didn't have any sacks in that game with 3 minutes to go in the contest. I think they finished with 1 or 2 in the final couple minutes when Mizzou was really scrambling to get something going at the end. It wasn't that great of a win. They could have lost that football game. This defense is not that good.
All right, maybe a lot of points then this weekend in that one. Next, we go out to the Las Vegas Strip and hear from Bob Donahue, who has a big weekend available completely free of charge. But first, he weighs in on this Big 12 game. Bob?
Thanks, Al. This week, Nebraska comes to College Station in a key contest against Texas A&M. Nebraska's top 10 scoring offense should have tremendous success against the banged-up Aggie defense. For A&M, they average over 30 points per game. Both teams have dominating offenses against outmatched defenses, so look for this contest to fly over the total. And viewers, my college parlay of the month is available right now, absolutely free of charge, on a recorded message. Just call toll-free to 1-888-806-4667 for this huge parlay winner, and you'll also receive a password for my West Coast Game of the Year between Oregon and USC and tomorrow's Pro Shocker of the Year as a completely free bonus. That's an entire weekend of winners at no cost whatsoever. Write the number down and make the call to 1-888-806-4667. That's 1-888-806-4667. Call now. Back to you, Al.
Thanks, Bob. Next up, we turn to a game in the overlooked WAC Conference as Boise State takes on San Jose. Stay where you are.
Nobody beats them any better than I do at this time of year, and I've got 7 straight winning college weeks to prove it. I'm off an easy Game of the Month winner with South Florida, nailed another conference Game of the Year with Troy, and today I've got a dynamite free offer. My final 2 conference games of the year are free, and they're on tape right now at 1-888-567-7660, and that's just part of an incredible 5-game free package. Make the call and get set to win big again.
Folks, my pro football game of the year has finally arrived. 10 weeks into the season, and finally the matchup I've been waiting for. You know, just 2 weeks ago I won my college game of the year as BYU dismantled Air Force 33-14. And this week it's the ultimate pro release. And as an added bonus, it comes with a pair of Saturday Conference Game of the Month plays. All for just $20. That's my pro game of the year right now. 1-900-622-7200 or simply go to jimfeist.net.
My college parlay of the month is available right now, completely free of charge on a recorded message. Call toll-free to 1-888-806-4667 for this huge release and receive a password for my West Coast Game of the Year between Oregon and USC and tomorrow's Pro Shocker of the Year as a free bonus. That's an entire weekend of winners at no cost whatsoever. Hey, I'm starting the day off with a huge parlay winner and then keeping it going with 2 more Game of the Year winners. Make the call to 1-888-806-4667. That's 1-888-806-4667.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, the highly ranked and undefeated Boise State Broncos clash with the San Jose State Spartans today, and we'll get to that game in just a minute. But first, we turn to Dave Koken, who is indeed smoking right now with 7 straight winning college weeks. Last Saturday, he had an easy Game of the Month winner with South Florida, and he notched another Conference Game of the Year victory as well. And, Dave, this week you've got a terrific offer, and it's free to boot.
It is. I'm having a lot of fun right now. I mean, this is really enjoyable, because there's nothing better than putting the work in on these games and then watching the results come through just like you thought they would. 7 straight winning weeks in the colleges. Big roll. My last 2 conference games of the year for this season go today. And you can get them right now. They're free on a tape-recorded message. All you need to do is call the toll-free number that you see on the screen right now, 1-888-567-7660. Now, those 2 games are on that line right now. I'm going to tell you about a bonus, and I believe this is probably the biggest bonus I've ever had, but you can't find out about that until you make the call. But believe me, it is worth finding out about. 1-888-567-7660. Be sure and take advantage of this terrific free offer.
All right, he's got my interest peaked, that's for sure. You know, Boise State is still undefeated, as we mentioned, and their BCS hopes are still alive. And this week they're going to take on a San Jose State team that is having a solid 6-2 season, but heading into a tough stretch where they have Boise State and then Hawaii, so a big part of the season for San Jose State.
But Dick Tomey's doing a great job with this club. He's such a quality football coach, and he's taken a team that, a program that's been just in the dregs for so long, and they may get to a bowl game this year. I don't think they can beat Boise, but I got to tell you, I do think it can be competitive, and that's the side I'd look at in this game.
Well, I agree with you in that, but one thing worries me about this is the defense against the run. I mean, they're going to give up a lot of yardage on the ground, and Boise can run the football. And that's why I'm not going to step out on this game right now. But I would favor the underdog, but I have to stay away from it at the moment.
Tomey's terrific, Dave. You couldn't say enough about the guy. One of the best coaches in the entire nation. They've done a great job. I mean, 3-8 last year. The Spartans, they only brought back like 9 starters, very few senior starters, and yet they win 6 of their first 8 games. But I think the honeymoon's kind of over. As you mentioned, Al, you got Hawaii next week after this game here. Fresno State has a better offense and especially strong running the football, a weakness for San Jose State. They have a far superior defense. Boise runs the table these 3 last games, and they should. They'll be heavily favored in all 3 games. They'll probably get a huge bowl bid, likely to the Fiesta Bowl against probably Texas. A lot of incentive here. I think they get an easy win.
I'll tell you what, talk about easy wins. I mean, this free line that we have has been outstanding. Weekend winners this entire season. You get 9 plays throughout the week. You get 4 every weekend, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday from the guys on the Proline panel. We're hitting 61% against the spread with those weekend releases. Be sure to call. You're going to get 4 plays again this weekend. 1-888-294-1970.
All righty. Well, now let's go back to the Vegas Strip and 2-time world champion Jeff Allen. Now, Jeff did it again last week. His Proline package went 3-0 with TV games, and his Big 12 Game of the Year, Nebraska, was huge. Jeff?
Thanks, Al. And right now, my biggest blowout of the year, my 2,000-star college game of the year, wins by 5 touchdowns, plus 4 more TV winners on a toll-free message. Call 1-800-638-3411. Last week, 4-0. The week before, 6-0. That's a 10-0 run, 100% winners. Get my college game of the year and 4-0 TV action, toll-free message. 1-800-638-3411. Now, as far as Boise and San Jose State, small play over the total. But right now, huge information. 2,000-star Game of the Year wins by 5 touchdowns, plus 4-0 TV winners. You're going 5-0 free, or the season is yours free. Write the number down. Call 1-800-638-3411. Back to you, Al.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Next up, after a break, we'll turn to tomorrow's game as the Chargers take on the Bengals. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, folks. I'm Scott Spreitzer, and it's here. My 2006 College Football Game of the Year goes today. I'm 8-2, 80% winners lifetime with my annual College Football Game of the Year at Smash Mouth Sports. In fact, we've either named the exact score or come within a field goal of naming the exact final score on 3 occasions. Grab my 2006 Game of the Year and win, or the rest of the season is free. Call 1-900-438-8385, only $25, or go to jimfeist.net.
Nobody beats them any better than I do at this time of year, and I've got 7 straight winning college weeks to prove it. I'm off an easy Game of the Month winner with South Florida, nailed another conference Game of the Year with Troy, and today I've got a dynamite free offer. My final 2 conference games of the year are free, and they're on tape right now at 1-888-567-7660, and that's just part of an incredible 5-game free package. Make the call and get set to win big again.
Last week we smoked them. 4-0 TV games and Big 12 blowout Nebraska. Right now, huge information from the Strip. My 2,000-star College Game of the Year by 5 touchdowns plus 4-0 TV action. Toll-free message, 1-800-638-3411. 2 weeks, I'm 10-0. Right now, 2,000-star College Game of the Year. 4-0 on TV, you're going 5-0 guaranteed free or the season free. Call 1-800-638-3411.
Welcome back to Proline. Well, a good game in the AFC is up next as the Chargers travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. But first, let's go to Smash Mouth handicapper Scott Spreitzer. He has swept his last 3 college football Proline packages. He's on a 75% winning run with college games of the year this season. He's 8-2, 80% lifetime with his annual big game of the year releases. And Scott, your biggest play in 2006 goes off today.
That's right, Al. We're looking to continue this run that Glenn and Jim got us on the last couple of weeks with games of the year, and we found a great spot. In fact, these teams, these dead teams that I like to call them in college football, are lining up like ducks in a row, and we're just taking them down one by one here. And last year, it was this weekend, in fact, that we hit our 2005 College Game of the Year when Iowa State whipped Colorado 30-16 to make us 8-2 now with our lifetime games of the year. So you won't want to miss out. Hey, folks, if you liked our pancake game of the year, Tulsa crushing Memphis, if you liked our mismatch of the year with Ohio State 44-zip, if you enjoyed our Big East game of the year last week with Louisville over West Virginia, you are going to absolutely love this rocking chair winner. It's my 2006 game of the year as we look to go to 9-2 against the spread. All you got to do is call 1-900-438-8385, just $25, or you can go to jimfeist.net, and I must win, or the rest of the season will be yours free. 1-900-438-8385.
Who could resist a rocking chair game? You can't possibly resist that. LaDainian Tomlinson rescued the San Diego Chargers with a monstrously good performance last week, and the Bengals may need their whole season rescued at the rate they're going. They're underperforming on the field, and they're bickering off it. Not a good combination.
Definitely some dissension in this team. They really, I mean, everybody was talking about the Bengals maybe the best team in the NFL at the beginning of the season. Right now, they're facing maybe not getting to the playoffs. The problem is they're really going to face a really good football team. Marty Schottenheimer is not the Marty Schottenheimer of you. This guy now will run up the score. He will score. He'll keep passing the ball when he should used to be running it and play for the other team not to catch up. It's a whole different team. The San Diego Chargers are maybe the second best team in football right now. Yes, they have some defensive players out. I would be on San Diego in this game. If it wasn't for that, I'm going to pass the game.
Isn't it ironic that suddenly this year Schottenheimer kind of sheds that stodgy offense and goes with a young quarterback in Rivers rather than in the past when he's had some people like Breeze who have been around a while. I tell you what, I like this San Diego team, although I think Denver's still going to beat them out. I think San Diego's going to end up being a wild card squad here, but I like matchups, and you've got one big thing here. You've got a team's strength against another's weakness. Tomlinson's been absolutely unstoppable. 355 yards the last 2 weeks, averaging like 4-point yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. Now he's going to go up against a Cincinnati Bengal team that hasn't been able to stop the run. They're giving up 129 yards per game, one of the worst numbers in the NFL. I just think that they'll be able to keep the ball away from Carson Palmer and his scary receivers. And of course, when you control the game like that, you get the win.
I think the big problem for the Bengals started before the season ever got underway. This is not a disciplined football team, folks. You saw it with their off-the-field behavior. I think it does have an impact on the football team. Chad Johnson, as entertaining, as fun as he is, has been complaining now, becoming a nuisance. They're not getting me the ball enough. I think San Diego can still be scored on. I'm still a little shaky in their defense, especially when they hit the road. But the Bengals' defense is not very good. I like this game over the total.
All right, we'll see how it turns out. When we come back, we're going to take a look at an NFC game, the Packers and the Vikings. Stay tuned.
Follow up on last Saturday's big win on Texas Tech with a weekend of free winners completely free of charge. Call right now, toll-free, 1-888-260-8339, and start the day off with my Platinum Game of the Month. That's a $500 personal service release available right now, free on a recorded message. Then stay on the line for details on how to get today's college football blowout of the year and tomorrow's underdog shocker. 3 big games, 3 big winners, absolutely free. Make the call, 1-888-260-8339, or go to jimfeist.net.
Hi, folks. I'm Scott Spreitzer, and it's here. My 2006 College Football Game of the Year goes today. I'm 8-2, 80% winners lifetime with my annual College Football Game of the Year at Smash Mouth Sports. In fact, we've either named the exact score or come within a field goal of naming the exact final score on 3 occasions. Grab my 2006 Game of the Year and win, or the rest of the season is free. Call 1-900-438-8385, only $25, or go to jimfeist.net.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, from an intriguing AFC contest to an NFC Central Division game between the Packers and the Vikings, that's what we're going to do, and we'll get to that and our panel's opinion on that game in just a second. But first, we'll turn to world champion handicapper Jim Feist. Now, last Saturday, he promised a big winner with his College Game of the Year, and Texas Tech delivered in fine fashion with a 55-21 smackdown of Baylor. And Jim, congratulations on that one.
Well, thank you very much. That makes us 6-1 in the last 7 years in our college games of the year, and we have some big games coming up this week. Now, Sunday wasn't all that good, but my Saturday card was a winning card, and Monday was a winning card, so you can't win every day. We've had a winning season, and we're going to come back this week with a tremendous offer. I've got my Platinum Game of the Month. This is a $500 value game, strong play, or I wouldn't call it that. And I want you to get this absolutely free. 1-888-260-8339, or go to jimfeist.net. Now, when you go to either place, you're going to also get details on how you can get my College Blowout of the Year and my Sunday Pro Shocker. All 3 games are free. 1-888-260-8339, or jimfeist.net.
All right, take advantage of that, that's for sure. Well, Brett Favre is going to lead his Packers into maybe not his favorite place on the planet, the Metrodome, to take on a Minnesota Vikings team that has had problems all year and doesn't seem to know its own identity.
Brad Johnson simply looks lost. This guy has more interceptions, twice as many interceptions as he does touchdown passes. Tough to win in the NFL when you do that. Last week, they went up against a San Francisco team that allowed 34 points per game. They ended up with a field goal. They've gone 9 straight quarters now without scoring an offensive touchdown. I'm going to have to take the points.
I think it's 4 games this year where they haven't scored a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, it's really incredible. And they started the season off like they actually looked like they could play. And I don't know what's going on up there, but I mean, you look at the other side of this game. Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers go to Buffalo. I mean, they had, I think, 4-1 in yardage over Buffalo. And how they lost, well, it was turnovers. It's always turnovers. It happened on Sunday night with the Pats. It happened with the Packers as well. Favre doesn't like playing here. He never has played really well here. But the points, I mean, with a team like that can't score touchdowns, I mean, you got to take. I got to take the points. Light play though.
Minnesota's offensive line, their offense discombobulated, banged up on the opposite side of the football. And on defense, if you guys watch their games, they're making weird adjustments, the wrong adjustments throughout games. And now they're going to face a Green Bay offense that seems to be getting better by the week, especially the running game lately. averaging over 5 yards per carry in the last few games. I mean, this is a team that can pick them up and put them down. So they've just got to hope that Brett Favre doesn't get antsy and throw a couple of picks here or there. So I'm not going overboard by saying I'm jumping on the Green Bay Packers, but I think at this spread, you got to jump on Green Bay. I think it's a game that comes down to a field goal. I'm going to take the Packers.
All right, we'll see how that all turns out. Coming up is our Proline contest segment, our panel's biggest plays of the show. Stay with us.
The Proline free pick phone is available for winners daily. Just call toll-free to 1-888-294-1970 for red-hot winners from world champion handicapper Jim Feist, Smokin' Dave Koken, Smashmouth handicapper Scott Spreitzer, and Glenn McGrew. All free on a recorded message when you call toll-free to 1-888-294-1970. That's 1-888-294-1970. Call today, call tomorrow, win all week long.
Folks, my pro football game of the year has finally arrived. 10 weeks into the season, and finally the matchup I've been waiting for. You know, just 2 weeks ago I won my college game of the year as BYU dismantled Air Force 33-14. And this week it's the ultimate pro release. And as an added bonus, it comes with a pair of Saturday Conference Game of the Month plays. All for just $20. That's my pro game of the year right now. 1-900-622-7200 or simply go to jimfeist.net.
Follow up on last Saturday's big win on Texas Tech with a weekend of free winners completely free of charge. Call right now, toll-free, 1-888-260-8339, and start the day off with my Platinum Game of the Month. That's a $500 personal service release available right now, free on a recorded message. Then stay on the line for details on how to get today's college football blowout of the year and tomorrow's underdog shocker. 3 big games, 3 big winners, absolutely free. Make the call, 1-888-260-8339, or go to jimfeist.net.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for our contest selections. Let's start with Glenn.
All right. My contest selection this week, it's South Florida over visiting Syracuse. And folks, a marvelous football season gets even better this week. It's my pro game of the year plus 2 conference games of the month. That's my pro football game of the year right now on my $20 power play line, 1-900-622-7200, or simply go to jimfeist.net.
Dave?
These contest plays have been on a roll. Swept them again last week. Oklahoma State to blow out Baylor. Get the other one at jimfeist.net. 1-888-567-7660 for my final 2 conference games of the year, both free on tape, plus a terrific bonus.
And Scott Spreitzer?
My contest play is the Nebraska A&M game to go over the total. The other one is going to be at jimfeist.net. The selection of selections goes today, folks, at Smash Mouth Sports. It's my 11th annual college football game of the year. It's yours right now. $25 with a guarantee. 1-900-438-8385 or at jimfeist.net.
And Jim Feist?
I'm going to go to San Diego and the Bengals to go over the total, considering the defensive injuries and the suspensions on San Diego. I look for a lot of points in this game. Your best bet for this weekend is to pick up my 3 plays absolutely free. 1-888-260-8339 or jimfeist.net. You're going to get my Platinum Game of the Month. When you make the phone call, you'll get details on my college blowout of the year and my Sunday Pro Shocker. 1-888-260-8339 or jimfeist.net.
All right, thanks to our panel for another great job. Thanks to you for watching. Remember to catch us each Saturday morning at 7, 8, and 8:30 a.m. Eastern and Pacific right here on USA for another great show. We'll see you next week.
Winning selections, stats, and scores can all be found daily at jimfeist.net.